If you use a Macintosh computer, you have the tools at your disposal to create instructional videos that can be uploaded to an online learning platform such as Google Classroom. In this video, I will show you how to use the application called Quicktime to record instructional videos. I will then show you how to edit your videos using the iMovie application and then exporting your videos as MP4 files that can be uploaded to Google Classroom or your YouTube channel. Let's begin by taking a look at the QuickTime Recorder application. QuickTime Recorder is a free screen recorder that is pre-installed on your Mac. It can be used to capture both video and audio. QuickTime can be found using the Launchpad on your Mac or by searching applications in your Finder or even using the Spotlight search on your computer. I'm going to use Launchpad, and then I am going to use the search box here and type in QuickTime. Notice that the QuickTime Player shows up. I then select that. It may be best to create a new folder on your desktop where you save your screen recordings, and I suggest renaming each screen recording as you finish recording it. I am currently using the screen recorder, so I want to point out a feature. Up here on my bar, I have a stop button. When I click on this, this will stop my recording. To create a new recording, you go to the QuickTime Player and you go to the File menu, and you have the option of choosing a new movie. If you choose this feature, you can use a webcam to record you on your screen. You can also create a new audio recording, or you can record what is being shown on your screen so that you can use that for instruction. I'm going to click New Screen Recording. Here you have your options, whether you want to capture the entire screen, capture a selected window where you just click and drag your mouse over that portion of the window that you want to be recorded, or you can select a certain portion. Right now I'm on the selection portion, and I like to use this because sometimes the entire screen option does not capture my application menu up here. So you can then click record when you are ready to record, and you can click capture. And then remember, you are going to use this button up here to stop your recording. Once you have stopped recording, you will then want to save the file, the QuickTime file. You'll get a window that looks like this, and you can tell that it is a recording down here. You could preview this. One thing that you want to do when you are recording an instructional video is, if you make a mistake, don't start your recording over and repeat what you had meant to say or meant to do, and then you can edit out those mistakes when you are using the iMovie application to edit your video. Here you want to save your screen recording, so you are going to use the QuickTime application menu. You'll choose File and Save. You then want to give your file a name, and so you will name your file with the appropriate name and save it to the folder that you created for your screen recordings. You will then use the iMovie application to edit your video, and you can also at that time add titles or even background music. So I'm going to click New and then New Movie. Here's where you can choose which library you want to save your project in. And then you will want to import your media. So you have saved your QuickTime movie, and you want to now import it into iMovie. So now I'm going to find that video and import it. And then here's where all my media is, and I can then take that and drag that down to my timeline. This area down here is your timeline, and over here is your little preview window. Here you can zoom in or zoom out, and that will be helpful when you are trying to find specific areas where you may want to edit. If you made a mistake, you might want to zoom in so that you can see the audio and maybe exactly where that mistake was made. One of the first things I like to do when I'm making an instructional video is add a title. So I'm going to come up here to the title menu, and then you have these choices of titles. I am going to choose one with a title and a subtitle, and just drop it down here in front of my video. And then over here in the preview window or the preview area, you can change the font. You can change the size of your font. You can change the alignment, and you can change whether it's bold or italicized and the color of your writing. So I am going to add the title here of whatever my instructional video might be. And one thing that you should always do when you are using titles is to always click outside this text box. Sometimes if you don't click outside there, your text will revert back to where it just says text. So you want to click out there. And then you can also add transition. Transition is just when it goes from this text box to your video. So you can choose from some different transitions here. I'm just going to choose the page curl right there. One of the first things I like to do is raise the volume of my audio. Sometimes students complained that they were not able to hear my voice. So to do that, I want to come down here, and this is your audio volume, and you can just drag that up so that it is at maximum volume. And then before I trim any portions of my video, I like to make sure that you can see the entire video. So I will then use this cropping tool. And notice up here my application menu is not showing up. So I just click fit, and now that will show up. So students will be able to tell which menu I am using in my instruction. Let's say that your dog barked while you were starting your video. So right here is maybe where the dog barked, and then you started over. You can place your playhead right there on your track. Then you can use the keyboard shortcut Command B to split that clip. If you cannot remember that keyboard shortcut, know that you can also use the modify menu. Then I can split the clip here as well. Now let's say I wanted to take a part out of my video, that my mistake was not here, but it was actually right in the middle here. And so again, if I needed to, I could kind of zoom in so I can kind of tell by my audio track down here maybe where I made a mistake. And so I'll click there, and then again I will use Command B to split that track, and then I can click right here and then just use the delete button on my keyboard or right click and say delete. And then that portion of the video is gone. And then listen to it, make sure that you didn't delete too much. If you did, you can always use the keyboard shortcut Command Z to undo what you just did. So I'm going to click Command Z, and notice that this shows back up. And maybe I don't want to split, so I do Command Z again, and now it's not split, and I can choose a better location for splitting that clip and deleting it. Then I can add titles that will overlay my video. So if I go to titles and I want to remind students that they need to save their project every few minutes, I could just choose, a title like this. This time I'm going to drag it above my video, click on it here. You can now change your text here. If you don't see your text, you may need to click on this, make sure that this title is selected, and then you can click on the T up there, and then you should be able to edit your text. So you could say something like, and again you could change the color of that text. That way when that portion of the video plays, that text will show up. Now you may also want to mute your video. So let's say that I wanted to mute my audio right here. And again, I could split my clip with Command B, choose this portion, then use the Modify menu and say Mute Audio. That will mute the audio in that portion. Now another option is I could say Detach Audio. Now my audio's down here, and I could actually select that audio and delete it. But I am going to undo those actions and return back to my normal audio there. Now you might also want to fast forward through certain portions of your instruction. Let's say you're adding information to a table and you don't necessarily need this. The students don't need to sit and watch you for a good minute enter data into a table. You could just take that portion of the video, again split that clip and modify it so that that video plays in fast forward motion. I would suggest you mute the audio first, then it won't sound funny when it's playing, and you can click Modify and then fast forward, and you can determine maybe which one works best for you, how fast you need to go through it. If the students still need to kind of see a little bit of what you're doing, maybe 4 times would be appropriate. And notice now it has that symbol on there. You can also always click on that and revert back to the original speed. Now just a couple more things. Let me go ahead and zoom out here so you can see the video right here. Now you could always add credits if you needed credits for any of the sources that you use. You could drag that down there and add your sources. If you added background music or other information, you could give those creators credit right there. Now once you're done with your video, you're satisfied with your edits, and you are ready to turn it into a format that can be shared. You can use the File menu and select Share as a file. This will process it as an MP4 file. Or you can also use the Share button over here in the top right-hand corner. Click Share and click File. You will want to give your file a name. Click Next. You again can choose where you want to save that file, and then you are going to click Save. Right over here in the top right hand corner, you are going to see a circle that will show your activity. It shows the progress of your file being processed. The circle will begin to fill in, and when it's all the way filled in, you will get a little message up here in the top right hand corner that says that your file is ready to share. Now you see this message that says your share is successful. You now have an MP4 file that can be uploaded to your Google Classroom and shared with your students, or uploaded to YouTube where your students can access it there.